So, you know by now that Russia has been provoked again by terrorists' attempt in order to provoke Vladimir Putin to react so that the other governments of NATO can have an excuse to jump on him. We, the people of the world, are not that stupid to not understand what the administration of Mr. Macron, like the administration of Joe Biden, is to look for war, is to pick up a fight. Let's pick up a fight with Russia, let's pick up a fight with China, let's pick up a fight so that I can stay in power a little longer, as long as the people support the war against an imperialist, demented, evil man that is supposed to be Vladimir Putin, who won the elections again for another 6 years period. So, what does that leave us, the country and the world? If not in a conundrum, because Israel is doing what she wants. The United States is doing what she wants. And I mean it in a bad way. The United States is doing what Israel wants. It's not what America wants, it's what Israel wants. And if you have noticed, the belligerent people of Israel is in favor for the Holocaust they are committing against the Palestinian people. It might not be in terms of the 6 million they have always claimed happened. But what they're doing is a Holocaust, it's a genocide in front of our eyes, and I will not excuse myself when it comes to this opinion. And of course, circumstance, I mean, this is not an opinion. What they're doing is against the 1948 document against genocide and punishment of genocide. Its articles, which also accuses its accomplices, in this case the United Kingdom, the European Union, and of course the United States of America, where ex-president, Vice President Mike Pence signed a dumb bomb that was going to be released and to kill women and children and men, and he signed it. So we know the intentions of America. We know the only democracy in the Middle East it's all about, especially now that Benjamin Netanyahu mentioned that it was the 9/11 of Israel, and of course his cabinet term. What does he mean by that? I mean, isn't 9/11 a fraud, an excuse to take over countries and to try to impose hegemony around the world with the results that we have seen in the last 23 years? And you still call this smart foreign policy? I don't think so.
Got a different meaning to me when I started wearing it at protests, and I started wearing it in mass anti-war marches, and I started getting arrested wearing it, protesting against the Iraq War. And I've gotten rid of almost every piece of my uniform and military shit since then. But tonight, I want this to burn with Aaron Bushnell as a tribute to him. And that's what the rest of them are doing. Some of us are burning our medals, and the rest of us are burning the last pieces of the military we had to tell Aaron that he's not alone and to show him that he's not alone. Remember Aaron Bushnell!
Remember Aaron Bushnell!
He's not alone!
He's not alone!
Remember Aaron Bushnell!
Remember Aaron Bushnell!
He's not alone!
He's not alone!
Remember Aaron Bushnell!
Remember Aaron Bushnell!
He's not alone!
He's not alone!
Remember Aaron Bushnell!
Remember Aaron Bushnell!
He is not alone!
He's not alone!
Remember Aaron Bushnell!
Remember Aaron Bushnell!
He is not alone!
He's not alone!
the worst problem that has become the problem of all the world is Israel. It's destabilizing everything in the world, and is not obeying or abiding by international law or United Nations charters in order to be part of the United Nations, and not a pariah of the United Nations, but part of it, signatory state to the 1948 document against genocide and punishment against genocide, and its articles. I'm not going to read all the articles, but I'm going to read just the first 4 or 5 to see why Israel is causing so many trouble around the world and is dividing everybody against everybody in the name of religions and using Christianity and for political gain, and is getting us, the country and the world, in all kinds of trouble, and all for them. But they don't care, so that's why we need to cite the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of Genocide. Okay.
Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. Health officials in Gaza say at least 16 children have died in recent days from starvation and dehydration as Israel's assault on Gaza continues. UNICEF is warning the number of child deaths will likely, quote, rapidly increase unless the war ends. Pediatricians in Gaza say they have nothing to give malnourished children.
Yes, malnutrition plays a major role in the number of children that come to us, and thus in the number of deaths there are. When a child is supposed to eat 3 meals a day and ends up eating 1 meal, that's not enough for him. Your body becomes deficient in carbohydrates, vitamins, proteins, and deficient in fats that are necessary for the body. Then the body goes into a severe dehydration state. I can honestly say that we can't even deal properly with 50-60% of the cases we receive because we have nothing to give them. The most we can do for them is either give them saline solution or sugar solution.
Having considered the declaration made by the General Assembly of the United Nations in its Resolution 96, Article 1, dated 11 December 1946, that genocide is a crime under international law, contrary to the spirit and aims of the United Nations and condemned by the civilized world. Recognizing that at all periods of history, genocide has inflicted great losses on humanity, and being convinced that in order to liberate mankind from such an odious scourge, international cooperation is required. Hereby agree as hereafter provided. Article 1. The contracting parties confirm that genocide, whether committed in time of peace or in time of war, is a crime under international law which they undertake to prevent and to punish. Article 2. In the present convention, genocide means any of the following acts committed with intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group as such. A. Killing members of the group, which is what is happening, causing B. serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group. What do you think kids dying of starvation, abandoning the streets causes to you? C. Deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part. That's exactly what's happening in Gaza. D. Imposing measures intended to prevent births within the group, which is what's happening in Gaza. E. Forcibly transferring children of the group to another group. Article 3. The following acts shall be punishable: genocide, conspiracy to commit genocide, direct and public incitement to commit genocide. That is for Michael Rappaport.
Oh, I gotta see this.
You know, this whole crap with this cancel culture and the... Shut up! Shit, shut the fuck up! Nobody wants to hear it. Fucker. You've been talking all fucking week. You don't care what you have to say, just stop talking. You got me right in my fucking head, asshole. Stop. Damn it.
Alright, we gotta watch it again.
You know, this whole crap with this cancel culture and the... Shut up! Shit, shut the fuck up! Nobody wants to hear it. Fucker. You've been talking all fucking week. You don't care what you have to say, just stop talking. You got me right in my fucking head, asshole. Stop. Damn it.
Attempt to commit genocide and complicity in genocide. So There's 5 parts. Article 4. Persons committing genocide or any of the other acts enumerated in Article 3 shall be punished, whether they are constitutionally responsible rulers, public officials, or private individuals. And this is very important because we have documented how practically the nation of Israel is asking and supporting this genocide. And there's interviews that like these ones that are going to prove to you that this is not me speaking. When a whole nation is against the world for genocide, it called you anti-Semitic and irresponsible and hater, Jew hater and Nazi and all that kind of stuff in order to stop you from speaking and thinking. And that, with the cooperation of university donors, we have analyzed that before, is very important for us to understand that persons charged with genocide or any other act enumerated in Article 3 shall be tried by competent tribunal of the state in the territory of which the act was committed, or by such international penal tribunal as may have jurisdiction with respect to those contracting parties which shall have accepted the jurisdiction. Persons committing genocide or any of the other acts enumerated in Article 3 shall be punished whether they are constitutionally responsible rulers.
As if to say, like, look, we've built 2 wooden homes here, and we're going to be back for more. This is ours. And so they were building inside of Gaza. And the younger settlers were yelling at the military when they were finally removed for their own safety. Were yelling at the military, saying that they are Hamas, calling IDF soldiers Hamas for not allowing them to build in Gaza right now.
So, and the soldiers have been generally very permissive with them. I mean, right here we see like a woman being able to walk up to Egyptian soldiers in an Egyptian truck. I mean, look at this. Well, I mean, what did you witness? The soldiers were basically working alongside them.
Of course, I think the government of Israel and the military, I mean, as I pointed out in the report, they can't close the humanitarian aid crossings at the border by themselves without looking like barbarians. They need these Israeli citizens to get bused to the border into the closed military zone, which technically no civilian is allowed. They should be arrested immediately and taken out of there. They're all allowed there. And as soon as they show up, the military says, you know, I guess we have to close the border crossing for the day. No humanitarian aid to Gaza today. So
let's play one of these guys.
Yeah, of course.
The best way is to transfer them to Europe. Europe already accepted, past the 10 years, accepted more than 100 million refugees. I don't think that another 1.5 million refugees would make any difference for the Europeans. And as the Bible says, this place is for us. It's promised for us, so they can starve to death to pay on the things that they've done to us on the 7th of October.
Would you live in Gaza once all is said and done?
Totally. If my wife would agree for that, totally I would go live over there. The best.
Well, British accent.
He's from South Africa.
You know, I wish the anti-immigrant America First members of Congress could see that, because he's basically saying we're going to create a migration crisis in Europe and the West will take everyone that we've ethnically cleansed. That's kind of what the floating dock the Biden administration's building is for. But it doesn't get any clearer than that. Just pure genocide. And before that, in your video, he's talking about the friendly relationship they have with the police and the military.
Yeah, I would document that on camera. There's a lot of things happening off camera as well. The protesters would be giving baked goods, croissants, pastries, ice water, punch to the IDF soldiers who should have been arresting them, rounding them up, and putting them outside the closed military zone. And the IDF soldiers were coming out of their bunkers, their offices that were located on the border crossing, and cutting up watermelon for the protesters, cutting up watermelon, cold watermelon. It was, we were in the desert, it was 85 degrees, giving them juice, giving them watermelon, giving them sandwiches that are cut up. They were clearly on the same team, and they were sympathetic towards the IDF soldiers who did have to sometimes say, hey, don't go into Egypt. Don't cross the border. That's going to cause a problem for us. Saying like, they have their orders. We can't be breaking the law all the time, but we can be manufacturing a famine on the other side of the border. But they were all on the same team. They're all friends. They're all eating together, dancing together, having fun.
Public officials or private individuals. Again, if it's the whole nation, this is sui generis, where we see a whole nation in unison asking, impeding the access of food, the access of medicine, having fun, celebrating in those stops in different places, celebrating, having fun, and celebrating that they're killing others in base of religion, of course, but of course the manipulation through religion and violence and belligerence against Palestine. And they will do it against England, United States, Canada. Don't think twice about it. They don't like us Christians, but Christians are programmed to love Israel and to love whatever Israeli says, even if he's committing genocide, not only against the Palestinians, which is the case right now, but against you and I, if we were the nation against them. There's something also that is necessary to remember. Is the president of Colombia in South America. Do you know that Israel has satanized, demonized Colombia, Brazil, whomever opposes them, because their goal is to destabilize the world so they can position themselves in important positions like they always have done throughout the centuries. That is why they are being hated. It's not because they're Jews, it's because what they do as Jews. And we have seen it right now with the $100 million that cost the presentation in Congress and the continual dismissal of two presidents of two Ivy League universities. So the power of corruption that these people have is immense. And they always threat. Their mechanism of defense is attack. That's its mechanism of defense. They attack you personally, they attack you publicly, they attack you morally, and they attack you physically, etc. These people are impossible, which reflects the attitude in their minds and the psychology of the people of Israel. Again, persons committing genocide or any of the other actors enumerated in Article 3 shall be punished whether they are constitutionally responsible rulers, public officials, or private individuals. A whole nation is private individuals. A whole nation will is for genocide and have fun and already making plans to have a house with a beachfront where over the bodies and the bones of children and pieces of children and women that died of starvation and the smell of rotting flesh and the animals that ate those cadavers. They're gonna build beach houses. Yeah.
And Gaza's waterfront property, it could be very valuable. The thing that I would try to do if I was Israel right now is I would just bulldoze something in the Negev. I would try to move people in there.
Are people in Israel seriously talking about that possibility, about hosting Gazan refugees in what is considered quote-unquote Israel proper?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but that would be something you would try to work on.
I'm sitting in Miami Beach right now. I would say, how do we deal with the terror threat that is there so that it cannot be a threat to Israel or to Egypt, right? I think that both sides are spending a fortune on military. I think neither side really wants to have, a terrorist organization enclaved right between them. And Gaza's waterfront property, it could be very valuable to, if people would focus on kind of building up, livelihoods. You think about all the money that's gone into this tunnel network and into all the munitions. If that would have gone into education or innovation, what could have been done? And so I think that it's a little bit of an unfortunate situation there, but I think from Israel's perspective, I would do my best to move the people out and then clean it up.
So think about that. And not only that, one of the issues that it also implies is something that I, as a student of theology and a student of religions and whatever that it comes to my head or to my hands, I have to say, there is something that is also inviting us to think and to rebel to, and that is, where is God in all this? Where is God in all of this? And some people say, you don't ask that, you are just a creature, you shouldn't, that's blasphemy, you don't ask God what to do or what not to do. I don't want to defy God because I understand that there's a force that exists that is overwhelming, and I'm not looking for a fight like Israel is doing against the world. And anybody that opposes them because they are the only ones and they are right and that's it, what they are saying is that the God that they believe in is a genocidal God. It's a God that permits and likes and enjoys and tolerates and implies that he will let his people to commit genocide against any other country in the world. If that's their will, because the God that they have is all powerful, almighty, and they will